in the global village.
Good afternoon. This is the 5FM Radio Main News. The headlines. DPP raises concern over MPs allegedly using delimitation to restructure political fortunes. Lusaka City Council completes culvert installation and road repairs on Tabombeki Road. And threat of further violence looms after a Mexican cartel rampage. This bulletin is streaming live on our Facebook page, 5FM Radio Zambia, and also live on our YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. With the details, my name is Lance Sannie. The Democratic Progressive Party (DPP) has expressed concern that some incumbent members of parliament may be viewing the ongoing delimitation exercise as an opportunity to restructure their political fortunes. DPP President Antonio Mwanza says the party is worried that a growing number of parliamentarians who have allegedly not delivered tangible development, effective oversight, or meaningful representation to their constituents could see the process as a political lifeline. Mr. Mwanza says such perceptions, whether real or emerging, pose a serious threat to public confidence in democratic institutions. He states that while delimitation is a constitutional process intended to enhance equal representation and improve governance, it must not be manipulated directly or indirectly into what he describes as a political survival strategy for underperforming lawmakers. Mr. Mwanza emphasizes that is not a refuge for underperformance, not a shield against accountability, and not a reset button for failed leadership. He adds that where members of parliament have failed to deliver, the appropriate response should be the verdict of the people rather than the redrawing of electoral boundaries.
Delimitation is a constitutional process which is meant to enhance fair representation, and it's not a mechanism to rescue members of parliament who have failed to deliver in the 2026 general elections. Where members of parliament have not delivered, the solution is not redrawing boundaries, but ensuring accountability through the ballot by allowing the people in those particular constituencies to remove those underperforming members of parliament. We therefore call upon the Electoral Commission of Zambia to safeguard its independence and ensure that this process of delimitation remains transparent, consultative, and free from political and partisan influence.
The acting clerk of the National Assembly of Zambia, Loveness Mayaka, says the National Assembly is scheduled to host the 17th Network of African Parliamentary Committees on Health, NIAPOCA, meeting from today, February 25th to 27th, 2026, in Lusaka, Zambia. NIAPOCA is a continental forum that brings together parliamentary committees on health from across Africa to strengthen parliamentary oversight, legislation, and advocacy on health-related matters. The forum aims to promote health equity, with particular emphasis on improving outcomes in reproductive health, family planning, and maternal, newborn child, and adolescent health. The meeting will host 150 delegates from 31 countries, which include Benin, Burkina Faso, Burundi, Cameroon, Chad, Cote d'Ivoire, Kingdom of Eswatini, Ethiopia, the Gambia, Ghana, Kenya, Lesotho, Malawi, Mali, Mozambique, Namibia, Nigeria, Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Senegal, Seychelles, South Africa, South Sudan, Tanzania, Togo, Tunisia, Uganda, and Zimbabwe. Mrs. Mayaka says this year's meeting is convened under the theme repositioning the role of parliamentarians for enhancing health systems for emergency response, equity, resilience, and sustainability in the context of attaining universal health coverage. Mrs. Mayaka says the theme reflects the urgent need to review formulate and adopt policy frameworks that address long-standing inequities, recurrent shocks such as pandemics, and encourage health service financing models that enhance sustainability in the face of the changing financing landscape. Further, Mrs. Mayaka says the meeting will also for countries to showcase tested programmatic strategies for accelerating progress towards realizing UHC through regional and global health aspirations. The Lusaka City Council (LCC) has successfully completed the installation of a cross culvert and the patching of potholes on Mbeki Road in Lusaka. LCC Public Relations Manager Chola Mwamba says the intervention was undertaken to mitigate flooding on the affected stretch and enhance the durability of the roadway. Ms. Mwamba says the newly installed cross culvert will allow for the systematic channeling of stormwater into designated drainage systems, preventing water accumulation and potential damage to the road surface. Ms. Mwamba says in addition to improving drainage, the patching up of potholes is expected to enhance road safety and provide a smoother driving experience for motorists and other users. She says the council has since reopened Tabombeki Road to the public and is urging motorists to exercise caution as they travel along the stretch. Ms. Mwamba says the Lusaka City Council has reaffirmed its commitment to maintaining and upgrading the city's road network to ensure safe, efficient, and resilient infrastructure for all residents.
The intervention was undertaken to mitigate flooding on the affected stretch and enhance the durability. The newly installed cross culvert will allow the systematic channeling of stormwater into the designated drainage systems, thereby preventing water accumulation and potential damage to the road surface. The Lusaka City Council remains committed to maintaining and upgrading the city's road network.
The Center for Peace Research and Advocacy has welcomed what it describes as a timely and progressive Lenten message delivered by Alik Banda, Archbishop of Lusaka, to the Catholic faithful and the nation. Center Executive Director Clifton Chifue says the Archbishop's reflection calls on political players to desist from promoting hate speech, divisive rhetoric, and tribal politics as the country approaches the August general elections. In his message, Archbishop Banda urged those seeking public office to embrace sacrifice and selfless service, placing the poor and vulnerable at the center of governance and decision making. Mr. Chifue says CPRA finds the message consistent with the call to servant leadership that has also been emphasized by President Hakainde Hichilema, stressing service delivery over personal enrichment in public office. He adds that the Archbishop's message is a political and is non-political and speaks to all aspiring leaders across the political divide, reinforcing the importance of peace, justice, reconciliation, and unity among Zambians of diverse backgrounds. Mr. Chifue notes that Archbishop Banda emphasized that peace is not merely the absence of conflict, but the presence of justice, truth, dialogue, and self control. And in other news trending this afternoon, Cooperative Society of ban on goods from South Africa. The United Truck Drivers and Allied Workers Union of Zambia says the commissioning of the Kazungula Bridge Authority in Kasane will significantly improve the flow of traffic and boost Zambia's economy. Stand by for business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
The BIZED campaign says imported raw materials will now reach Zambian factories faster because of the commissioning of the Kazungula Bridge. Campaign founder and chief executive officer Ambassador Evans Kazonga Ngoma highlighted that the development marks a turning point for local manufacturers. He explained that the bridge will ease supply chain disruptions that previously slowed down production. Mr. Ngoma stressed that the faster delivery of imported inputs will enable Zambian industries to operate more efficiently, and the Buy It campaign pointed out that this will boost the competitiveness of locally made products in regional markets. Mr. Ngoma observed that reduced waiting times at the border will cut costs for businesses and traders. He underlined that the bridge demonstrates the benefits of bilateral cooperations between Zambia and Botswana. Mr. Ngoma remarked that the improved flow of goods will strengthen regional integration and economic growth, and he noted that the campaign is optimistic that the bridge will support job creation through enhanced manufacturing. Ends the business news.
From Radio Business News, we mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
And in foreign news, driving into Mexico's western city of Guadalajara, the evidence of Sunday's terrifying cartel rampage is still visible. The charred debris of burnt cars sits on roadsides, and there are scorched patches of asphalt on the highway after the Jalisco New Generation Cartel (CJNG), one of the most powerful and feared cartels in the country, sets scores of vehicles alight in response to the killing of their boss, Nemesio El Mencho Segura. This and the sight of ransacked or burning convenience stores projected exactly the message the CJNG wanted, that with or without their chief, they remain powerful with the ability to unleash havoc and chaos on the streets, sowing fear and intimidation on a mass scale. And in sports news, Alexander Soloth scored his first Champions League hat-trick to help Atletico Madrid defeat a resilient Club Brugge and set up a last 16 tie with either Tottenham or Liverpool. The Norway striker opened the scoring in the 23rd minute when he collected a long ball from keeper Jan Oblak, and his half volley skimmed past Simon Mignolet. However, Brugge leveled 13 minutes later when Joel Ordnes, who scored an own goal in the first leg when the two sides drew 3-3, headed level from a corner. Up next, the weather report.
Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
Lusaka and southern provinces, including the southern parts of eastern and central provinces, mainly cloudy and warm to hot with isolated showers and occasional thunder. Maximum temperature is ranging from 25 degrees to 32 degrees centigrade. The evening will be partly cloudy, slightly windy and mild with isolated rains. Ends our weather report, and that item brings us to the end of the news. But before we go, a recap of the stories that made headlines. The Democratic Progressive Party has expressed concern that some incumbent members of parliament may be viewing the ongoing delimitation exercise as an opportunity to restructure their political fortunes. The Lusaka City Council has successfully completed the installation of a cross culvert and the patching of potholes along Tabombeki Road in Lusaka. And finally, in the news, driving into Mexico's western city of Guadalajara, the evidence of Sunday's terrifying cartel rampage is still visible. For more news, follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the happy world of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. My name is Lance Sannie Banda. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.